But then subsequent surveys did not produce more evidence of what Todd has reported. His collections are in the Romano-British Antiquities section of the British Museum, but they are definitely tools. That is what we know from experts who followed Todd's work in Mumbai area. It was Sankalia, it was S.C. Malik and several others, including environmental archaeologists by name Zoyner and so on. But then Sankalia's work in Kutch area, in fact, laid the foundations for the discovery of earliest stone tools in Kutch areas. And if you come from the northwestern most part of the west coast, we have the Kutch region, which has really produced wonderful evidence belonging to the last 2 million years time period. And Sankalia students by name Ansari and Pappu, they revisited some of the sites which were reported by Sankalia, and they substantiated the discoveries made earlier. And so then there were these sites which we call early Stone Age sites, and then in addition to that they also found Middle Stone Age, subsequent stage in the development of Stone Age. And in the last 15-20 years, the rise of interest in the way in which modern humans colonized South Asia. These are critical geographical areas, because there is a theory that modern humans, Homo sapiens, exited Africa and moved along the coast and colonized Australia, South Asia, and then went beyond Indonesia, Australia, ultimately Australia, and so on. So to test that, so the nature of evidence was very, very important. In the coastal Kutch area, there are some sites which have been reported by the joint expeditions carried out by archaeologists in England, also in India, and they reported the presence of Middle Paleolithic tools and also Upper Paleolithic tools. So evidence that some part of the coast we was witnessing movement of the people, but if the same story is repeated in the Saurashtra region or not, one needs to be testing. So of course in 1890, Sankalia's work was again carried forward by students of archaeology in Deccan College, and A.R. Marathe, he initiated the survey of Saurashtra, especially the Miliolites. These are foraminifera deposits deposited by the sea, which was transgressing as well as regressing, encroaching the Saurashtra inland areas during high sea levels and withdrawing and then exposing the Saurashtra landscape and so on. So during the process of transgression and regression, they left behind some of these microfossils as deposits. These are called Miliolites. So these Miliolite cycles are now, they sandwich what we call river gravels. So when archaeologists look for archaeological sites, Stone Age sites, they follow the river courses and then the gravel bodies. And because gravels have ready-made nodules and cobules and so on, so they were readily available for modifying them into stone tools and so on. So the Kalubar River, Kiran Valley, Bhadar Valley, and several rivers which originate in the central highlands of Saurashtra, they go into the radiate. There is a radial drainage, and these rivers have also cut through these limestone Miliolite formations, exposing the gravels. So Marathe's survey resulted in the discovery of stone tools of the Paleolithic in the gravels below and above the Miliolite formation and so on. And these Miliolites are carbonate-rich foraminifera. They could be dated by uranium series dating method, and at that point of time, they dated them to about 4 lakh years or so. But now we suspect that there are better methods, more high-resolution dating methods, which can help us push back the age of these early Stone Age sites even in Saurashtra and so on.